I know you're a little superstitious, trying to get the Padres a run. They've been shut out by two great pitchers, Oswalt and Hamels, in the first two games of this series, and they hope to return the favor tonight.
Yeah, there's a guy in the mound by the name of Joe Blanton, the Philadelphia Phillies, and when you look at opponents' batting average, this is a guy that's up there with the top. The highest opponent's batting average this season. Jake Westbrook, the Padres beat him. Madison Bumgarner, a victory. No decision against Figueroa, but Joe Blanton, he can fatten some batting averages, I should say, and he's a guy that the Padres really have to take advantage of tonight.
The former University of Kentucky star, and he'll throw some long balls as well.
He will, Dick. Good call. And when you look at this, why does he get knocked around? His fastball finds the heart of the plate with the best of them. In 17 and a third innings pitched, he's allowed 28 base runners. This guy will give up the long ball, but he's going to be around the plate. So when he throws the fastball, that's why the numbers are so high, the 7+ ERA. His fastball, he's having difficulty pinpoint the corners. Down the center of the plate, hopefully the Padres can do some hacking tonight.
Well, the Padres are getting a little tired of these Phillies coming in here and pounding them on their home field. The Philadelphia Phils have won 9 in a row and 13 of 14 here at Petco, and that has to stop. Let's look at the pitching matchup, the starters tonight. Joe Blanton, 0-1, that ERA up there at 7.27 in his 3 previous starts. And Tim Stauffer, good outing in Chicago. Let's see if he can build on that. He also is 0-1 and a 3.27 earned run average. And our pitching matchup is brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. On a beautiful night, we're ready for baseball at Petco Park. Shakespeare would have been 447 today. More on that later. Let's go down on the mound to Tim Stauffer. Stauffer, 28 years of age, did his college pitching at the University of Richmond. And his profile is brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. Stop in for an attractive lease or a purchase offer. 314 opposing batting average. He and Blanton are a bit too high. They don't want to have that batting average over 300 in their appearances, but so far in this young season, that's the case.
And the one good thing when you look at the numbers of Tim Stauffer, he himself is a strike thrower. Few walks. only walked 6 this year. So he is around the plate. And last time out, tough conditions in Chicago.
Charlie Manuel, skipper of the Phils, 67 years of age, his 7th season. Best record in the National League the last 6 years under his tutelage. And we're set to go. Stauffer will face Shane Victorino to lead it off, the switch hitter. Batting .296 from the left side, .311 his total on the year. Lots of shadows with which to contend as we start this 5:35 game, but just a perfect night. And a big crowd. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Expect over 40,000 tonight for this game 3. Grounded to the left side, bobbled, and finally Cantu, who's moved from first over to third, able to get a grip on it and throw out Victorino. Let's look at the Philadelphia lineup tonight. Center field, Victorino. Second base, Pete Orr to start tonight, with Jimmy Rollins hitting third and Ryan Howard, the 2-run triple to win it last night. Batting cleanup, Ben Francisco in right field. Raul Ibanez in left. Brian Schneider, who homered in the first game of the series. Winston Valdez, third base, hits 8th, and Hamels, Blanton, Wilson Valdez, and then Joe Blanton. Grounded right at Hudson. And a couple easy outs, ground ball outs, and that's always a good sign for a sinker bowler like Tim Stauffer. Check the Padre defense, brought to you by Big O Tires, the team you trust. Call 1-800-NEW TIRE. So Cantu, with Chase Headley still battling the flu, gets a start at third. Bartlett, Hudson, and Brad Hopp back in the lineup at first base. Ludwig, Maben, and Venable left to right, and Hundley behind the plate handling Tim Stauffer.
Well, looks like Jorge's having a little fun with his guante there, tossing it around, keeping nimble on his feet there. You can plug him in at first, third, in a pinch. But he's like a little leaguer out there, and it's opening day, just having a blast.
1-1 to Rollins, hitting .259 from the left side. Off to a slow start, .250 overall, and has only 1 RBI. 76 at bats. Certainly out of character for him. Stride. 1-2, curveball.
Good yacker from Tim Stauffer right out of the chute. It's also nice to have a possible 1-2-3 inning when you got the big guy Ryan Howard waiting on deck. You want to face him next inning with nobody on.
Lifted to left. Ludwig back a couple of steps, and it's an easy 1-2-3 first inning for Tim Stauffer. Padres coming up. Maben, Bartlett, and Hudson in the home half of the first. 6'3" and 245. Doing his best pitching last year, and that's been his pattern in the second half of the season. Get this, in his last 13 starts of a season ago, this number 5 starter in the rotation was 6-0, and the team was 10-1 in those 13 starts. He'll face Cameron Maben to lead off, the center fielder. And he rips one into left field for a base hit, celebrating the Breitbart Award, San Diego Hall of Champions, as the player of the month. That ceremony before the game tonight. Well, the Padre lineup is presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in tomorrow's lineup hits a home run, Ashford will donate $2,500 to Operation Homefront. Maben, Bartlett, Hudson, Hundley, Cantu, Ludwig hit 6th, Hop down to 7th, Will Venable 8th, and Tim Stauffer on the mound. While the Padres have had success in day games, looking ahead to tomorrow, they're 6-3. Night games, they're only 2-9. Try to turn that around tonight.
That's a good seat right there, huh?
They've got it turned around. That ball hit the right center field, tearing well. Victorino chasing. He can't get there. It's all the way to the 400 sign. Maben flying around third, and here he comes to the plate. Padres get a run early. A triple for Jason Bartlett to score Maben from first. And how sweet does that feel? Get a run that early.
Who was it that was talking about scoring first before the game, Professor?
Well, I kind of had a dream last night.
Well, Jason Bartlett gets a Joe Bland fastball. We even showed it to you folks in the pregame show. A lot of fat pitches over the heart of the plate. Bartlett does a fine job of driving it to the farthest part of Petco Park. It's nice to get on the board first.
Now let's see, with no one out, a man at third to get that second run in, as Orlando Hudson batting .242. Fouls it away. Maben at first base. That play was in front of him. He could see it go up the alley, and he put it in second, gear third, and now overdrive. Everything but a baton in his hand when he breaks the tape at home plate. Upstairs, 1-1.
He gets that right arm pumping. He's fun to watch.
Hudson with Nick Hundley on deck. Bartlett at third with a triple, no one out. Check swing, 2-1. Plate umpire tonight, Jim Reynolds. He has his degree from the University of Connecticut in journalism. He can write a story back there behind his mask. Rolled foul in the infield up the middle, playing back, so they'll sacrifice a run here for an out. Kristen Orphy and Padre teammates applauding that triple by Jason Bartlett. Still suffering from a mild groin strain, and so probably won't see duty this weekend, perhaps against Atlanta. Full countdown. Orlando Hudson looking for his 5th RBI as a Padre.
It makes to see also these hitters. I'm sure Randy Reddy has talked to him, taking Blanton the opposite way.
Ball 4. Well, the first 3 men tonight reach against Joe Blanton as we check the defensive lineup of the Phils, brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Valdez starts at third tonight. He played second the other night. Rollins at short, or then back at second base, left-handed bat. Ryan Howard at first with Ibanez, Victorino, and Francisco in the outfield. Schneider homered 2 nights ago behind the plate. Hundley, his average dropping from out of the 400s down to 317. Still the best for San Diego. Right back to the mound, and they got Bartlett hung up. And now Bartlett gets into a pickle, and he does it well. Both runners move up, second and third. Well done. But they didn't get a run. Hundley safe on the fielder's choice. Bartlett out 1-5-2. Hudson moves to second, and Hudson moves to third, and Hundley to second.
And Blanton, he should have just kept on running Bartlett all the way to third base. He gave up that rock a little bit too soon. They don't score a run, but now 2 runners in scoring position.
So let's see how that trade-off works as Cantu steps in with a 1.40 batting average.
Whoa.
Curveball just caught the outside edge.
Well, you be the umpire. Not a bad pitch. Not a bad pitch at all. So I take that back.
A 12-6 curveball. That ball lifted to right field. Shallow. Francisco tagging is Hudson. It's going to be a play at the plate, and Hudson retreats. Ball was way offline. Hudson obviously would have scored, but as the fans react to that, how do you know? It was too shallow. So then at third, no one out. Second and third, 1 out, and the Padres have not been able to get that second run in.
And that's just a chance you take. Remember, coaches know the arms of the outfielders. They take into consideration how they're catching the ball, where they're catching the baseball, and nobody knows that that ball was going to be offline as it was. Bottom line is, the Padres got another chance here with 2 outs to at least get 1 more run.
Maybe 2. Ryan Ludwig, 179 his average. 2 out, second and third occupied. Hudson at third, Hundley at second. Looking for RBI 9 and maybe 10. Ball 1.
The last thing you want, and if it were to work out perfectly for the Phillies, a catch out, throw out to end the inning. And then you leave another guy out there on base. At least they get another chance here with Ryan Ludwig.
Line drive, but foul, hooking down into the corner.
I'll tell you what, if Ryan Ludwig was playing the game of cricket, he'd probably be the most valuable player of the league. He has hit some foul balls, just rockets. Unfortunately, in baseball, there is the foul lines in fair territory.
In cricket, that would be 6 runs.
Exactly.
Right. 1 and 2. Cutter.
Joe Bland's a 5-pitch pitcher. Fastball, cutter, slider, change, curve. We've seen so far this evening the fastball, the cutter, and the curveball.
Struck him out. Well, the good news is the Padres finally broke that scoreless string of 21 innings. The bad news is they should have gotten much more. Marino, because where you do business matters. Well, the Padres do stake Stauffer to a run. Ryan Howard, Ben Francisco, and Raul Ibanez to bat for the Phils. Howard with the one big base hit last night. Triple to right center after a couple of walks, and the only 2 runs scored go to Philadelphia in that 2-0 shutout.
Well, we've learned something in this series, that Ryan Howard will swing at balls in the dirt.
Inside.
And we've also learned that if you throw a short breaking ball, cutter, slider in the strike zone, he will hurt you.
Curveball took a little off. 77 miles an hour.
Timmy's got a good touch for that curveball early on in this ball game. He threw a couple of nice ones in the first inning.
Got him. Fastball on the inside corner. First strikeout for Stauffer.
Going soft with the curveball. Fastball, and yeah, you betcha. That's right below the belt buckle on the inside corner. Kind of came back a little bit, freezing Ryan Howard for the strikeout.
Right fielder Ben Francisco homered over the center field fence on game 1. Pete takes a strike. He hits this one to left center. Maven's got a beat on it. 2 away. Raul Ibanez off to a slow start, 197. Oh, there's some of the more than 4,000 girls softball players have paraded around Petco Park before the game tonight. Good to have them all with us. A lot of outstanding talent around the county.
You talk about a quick game, huh? That fast pitch softball, my goodness.
I'm stunned. The girls 11, 12 years old, how they can pitchers, the kind of velocity they have. Ibanez 2-0. Snaps a foul.
Well, one thing Tim Stauffer is doing early in this ball game, you talk about command of the fastball to both sides of the plate. Throws Howard with a fastball in, and then he got into the fists of Francisco to pop up.
3-1. Well, the Phils had shut out their opponents 3 consecutive games on the road. They shut out Washington at the end of their last road trip, and then the first 2 here at Petco. That comes to an end, and so will this inning, as Hop will take it to the bag himself. And 6 up, 6 down for Tim Stauffer. Bottom of the second, the Padres have Hop, Venable, and Stauffer coming up.
Time
no
to add
shutout
on.
tonight.
Yeah.
Brad Hopp, 5 for 43. Is a .279 career hitter at 116. Ground ball right at the second baseman Pete Orr, one away. Will Venable, he too struggling. In fact, after you get by cleanup hitter Hundley tonight, the batting averages Cantu 140, Ludwig 179, Hopp 116, and Venable 167. Therein lies a major problem, and why the Padres have struggled here, falling to 8 and 12. Dodgers lost today. Arizona lost. So did San Francisco. Colorado at Florida ahead 3-1 in the 6th. Made good contact, but late on the swing.
Yeah, we'll have to see if these Padre hitters go the opposite way. Remember, Jason Bartlett in the first inning, that triple to Cox Alley, staying on that Blanton fastball. Sometimes guys will get in a pull mode, and that's when you run into trouble. And they know that.
Granville in spring training was hitting a lot of balls to the opposite
exactly.
field. 3-1. Line to right field for a base hit. That's a rope. Padres have their third hit. One out single brings up the pitcher Stauffer.
Well, it's a 3-1 count for Will Venable, and you know what? When you've got a ball on the inner part of the plate, pull on it. Yank it. Take it to right field. That's a good-looking 3-1 hack by Will Venable.
Stauffer squaring to bunt. Good sacrifice. Coming in as the third baseman and throws out Stauffer. Wilson Valdez taking it right out of Blanton's glove. So man in scoring position once again.
Love it when a pitcher gets it done quickly. First pitch, deadens it perfectly out in front. Nice job, Tim Stauffer.
Maben singled to open the first inning and came around on Bartlett's triple, but Bartlett with no one out, joined by Hudson at first base. First and third, no one out. Padres couldn't muster another run. Ball one. Slider off the corner. A 7-game cycle for Maben. One of each. Ooh, it hit him. Guess it caught his bat. That's a tough way to get a strike.
Well, yeah, the umpire put his hands up in the air to indicate foul ball. Let's see here. Yes, it does. Now the scoreboard here says 1-1.
Yeah, the first pitch was outside the slider.
Like I said, it was a ball. That's right.
Downstairs on the changeup, 2-1. Ooh, high slider, 2-2.
Well, every umpire has their own little distinct zone, and you know what? Looks like Jim Reynolds has got the high strike. Is it a high strike? Yeah, you know, that's belt buckle high, not bad.
Thought the letters were the top of the strike zone.
That's where I think it should be.
It's a good strike. Outside, curveball, 3-2. Maben is successful in getting aboard. It'll be Jason Bartlett next.
Well, if I was a betting man, I guarantee you with first base open, 2 outs, Maben's going to see a breaky ball of some sort.
Check swing. Did he go around? No. Ball 4. Changeup. Second walk from Blanton. So first and second with 2 outs, and Bartlett with that RBI triple in the first inning.
3-2 changeup from Blanton, and it just misses.
Ooh, he went around.
He may have went on that as well. You're right.
He did.
Absolutely right. Caught a break.
Low to Bartlett. That's the best hit ball of the entire season for Bartlett. That triple deep to right center field. Put a good swing on that one, but fouls it into the second tier to the right. For the last 8 games, Bartlett breaking out of his early hitting troubles. 393 average. Good speed aboard. Venable and Maven, another foul.
Yeah, you can see what Jason was trying to do there. That pitch, once again, catching the heart of the plate, but trying to take it the opposite way.
Final game of this 4-game set tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Wade LeBlanc called up from Tucson against Cy Young winner Roy Halladay. Threw a pair of no-hitters last year, a perfect game. Cy Young, second time he's won that coveted Best Pitcher award.
Other than that, he's pretty good.
You might want to come out and see him at work. Back up the middle, but that'll take the shortstop right to the bag. Close play. And a late call by Andy Fletcher. Yeah, they misjudged Maven's speed, and he almost beat that little toss to second. But the Padres leave another man in scoring position. 2 stranded. It's presented by Bank of America. First 25,000 against the Diamondbacks. That's our anniversary, and now I've got something to give Barbara. The Buddy Black bobblehead. Oh my!
I've got an idea for you, Professor. Here's what you do: you take that Bud Black bobblehead after the pitch here. You stick it inside a blue Tiffany box.
No, I'm not going to be that mean.
And you are good to go.
No, that's too mean. Brian Snyder homered 2 nights ago. Hit a deep drive over the Cox sign in right center field. He has only 2 hits all year and 12 at bats, but the 2 hits are big ones. Valdez and the pitcher Blanton to follow. Boy, that one ran up about 8 different sets of hands all the way up to the aisle.
Yeah, and some guy's shaking his hand because he got that ball right in the mitt. He's got to bring his mitt to the game. Bring that glove.
That's tomorrow. Struck him out. Don't forget, first 8,000 of you youngsters 14 or younger will receive that Padre ball glove tomorrow. 2 strikeouts for Tim Stauffer.
Well, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Tim Stauffer's got great command of the fastball, both sides of the plate, lefties and righties alike.
In for a strike. Valdez had 264 at the start. 5 runs batted in. There it is tomorrow. 105. Get here early. Be one of those first 8,000. And see a great pitcher at work. Cy Young winner Roy Halladay against Wade LeBlanc. That's got to be a motivational game for LeBlanc. Come in and go against someone that good. Back over the head of Stauffer, charged by Hudson, can't make the play. Bartlett backed him up, but too late. It's just a seeing eye infield single for Wilson Valdez, the first Phil's hit.
Perfectly placed, just over the head. And I'm kind of surprised as we take a second look. I thought Orlando Hudson, because the ball was not struck all that well, he was going to give way to Jason Bartlett because his momentum's going towards first base. And you know, quite frankly, if Bartlett fields that ball cleanly, I think they've got a chance to get him at first base.
Can't argue with that. But instinctively,
sure,
Hudson wants to make the play. Blanton pulls back and takes ball 1. He's 0 for 4 as a hitter this year. Career 117. Two and 0, trying to move Valdez into scoring position and give Victorino a chance to tie it up. Bunted right through that fastball. 2-1. These Phils here at Petco Park, you'd think this is their home field. 13 out of 14 they've won, 9 in a row, and they're 20-4 since this park opened. 3-1.
Tim having difficulty throwing the 2-seam fastball to Blanton. Everybody in the ballpark knows that he's giving himself up here.
Give him a chance.
Easier said than done, trying to throw that baseball over the plate.
Cantu edging in from third, well on the grass. Swinging away. And Charlie Manuel lets his pitcher take a full cut on 3-1.
And a good cut it was. He did not get cheated on that one. And Charlie relaying the signs to the third base coach, Juan Samuel.
See if the bunt is back on. He bunted. Ball was high. It would have been ball 4, but Blanton offered. So that's a break for the Padres. He's unable to move his teammate into scoring position.
Well, you betcha it's a break. Absolutely, Dick. A ball that's up out of the zone. He pokes at it. Strike 3.
Victorino grounded to Cantu his first time. In his previous 3 outings against left-handed batters, they have hit .464 off Stauffer at the start of this season. There's that 2-seamer tailing away. 1-1. As we start play tonight with the Giants and Dodgers losing earlier, Colorado's the only National League West team with a winning record. Rockies are 13-6. Giants and Dodgers are 10-10 and 11-11. Took a little off. Slider.
That was a pretty good pitch. Shane Victorino does not like the call. It's down, it's around the knees. That's a strike.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful pitch.
One and two the count. There goes the runner, a delayed steal, and he's in easily. Valdez waited till the ball got to the catcher, then he broke, and by that time Hundley wasn't ready to make a solid throw.
And the Phillies, you know, you do a little scouting report on the way the defense is set up with Victorino at the plate. Hudson's playing on the grass way away from second base. Bartlett, you know, he's playing a normal shortstop, but you hit the nail right on the head, Dick. As soon as that ball crosses home plate, the hitting area, the infielders sometimes have a tendency to relax, and bang, then you take off.
That's his second steal, Valdez.
Shuffle, shuffle, hitting area, go. Perfectly executed.
And now the count full on Victorino. Tying run at second base, carried by Valdez. Off the fist, Brad Hopp flips to Stauffer, and the inning's over. No runs, the Phil's first hit. He's left at second. It's 1-0 Padres. Premier Dental Implant Center. By Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. And by Cox High-Speed Internet. Power all your devices with the fastest internet in San Diego. Last of the third, 1-0 San Diego. And it's Hudson, Hundley, and Cantu to hit against Blanton. Ground ball up the middle, right at the shortstop Rollins. He gets Hudson by a stride. Hudson had walked in the first inning. Nick Hundley, with runners at first and third and no one out, hit a sharp comebacker. And Blanton at the time, his first impulse was to go to first base and get the out, but it got to him so quickly, and he checked third and had Bartlett hung up and was able to get the fourth. Bartlett did his job. It allowed the other runners to move to second and third, but the Padres still failed to take advantage of a golden opportunity to build a big lead early. In for a strike, with the exception of right field. Francisco and the Padres Venable having to stare into the setting sun. The field now covered in shadows. Tough field to play though in right at the moment as the sun sets over the upper left field deck. Slider way out in front was Hundley. Last start was against Milwaukee, Blanton. pitched well. 7 innings, allowed only 2 runs, 7 hits to lower his ERA to its current mark of 7.27 coming in after a couple of rough outings earlier. 2-2. Over but low. Changeup. Boy, these Phil's pitchers, as a group, they're throwing more changeups.
It's a great pitch
than any team we've seen.
And Bland's got a good one. Cole Hamels, a doozy.
Oswald.
Yes.
Strike 3 on the outside corner. Fastball. Blanton has his second strikeout. Brings up can 2.
Shot from the natural. Where's Glenn Close when you need her? She needs to stand up in that hat. And then Roy Hobbs hits a home run. Whatever.
Whatever Robert Redford wants to do.
Exactly. Got that right.
Can 2. 1-1. Fly to right field. Not deep enough to get the runner in from third with 1 out in the first inning. Line to left for a base hit. Just a couple innings too late. That would have scored 2 back in the first inning.
Jorge stayed on that Joe Blanton slider nicely. It had some good bite to it, some good tilt to it. Does he go out and get it? Oh, you betcha. Keeps his head down, throws the barrel of the bat. That's a beautiful swing.
Brings up Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig fooled on that changeup in the dirt, struck out in the first inning. Curveball for a strike. Yes, this is William Shakespeare's birthday.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Yeah, hope he's watching. High fly right at the center fielder, Victorino. He puts it away, and the Padres leave their 5th man. Can 2, a 2-out single. We're on to the 4th inning. To be or not to be. Brought to you by AT&T Wireless. What Hall of Famer got his 3,000th base hit off another Hall of Famer? We'll give you the answer last half of the inning. We can tell you who the pitching Hall of Famer was. Dennis Eckersley. Who was the hitter? 3,000th base hit. Pretty unusual, huh?
Yeah.
Hall of Famer against Hall of Famer. Pete Orr, Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard, 3 left-handed bats to face Stauffer here in the top of the 4th. 1-0 Padres. Line drive, that's going to fall in front. No, Ludwig comes in and makes the catch. Oh, my. That ball carrying, it looked as if it was going to fall in front of Ludwig. He did not give up on it and steals a hit from Orr.
Big risk. Why? Because if it gets by Ryan Ludwig, it's all the way to the wall for extra bases. Way to lay out, Ryan. That'll make the highlight reel. Nicely done.
He needed all of his reach to get that glove on the grass and scoop it for the outstanding defensive play of this series. Jimmy Rollins fly to left his first time, takes upstairs.
You know, as an outfielder, put yourself in Ryan Ludwig's shoes. As soon as you make that commitment, the point of no return, you say to yourself, I better make contact with this ball, at least keep it in front of me. If I don't catch it, it better carry him off towards the infield. Because if it gets by me, that spells trouble. That was a big league play, brother.
Rollins has worked the count to 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk. Stauffer's first base on balls tonight. Brings up Ryan Howard, the ever dangerous power hitting first baseman of the Phils. Took the third strike his first time. Bartlett comes in to say something to Tim Stauffer. It's brief. Just another note, and I know you love Shakespeare. You know, he was a right-hander.
Absolutely.
Right-hander.
Did he play some minor league ball over in England?
Might have. 52 years of age. He died on his birthday. Born on this date and died on this date.
Wow.
In between, he did some fairly significant writing.
Yeah.
Howard hops it high and out of play.
Shakespeare's a tough read. I get a headache after like the second line of Macbeth. Like, who is this Macbeth? I mean, come on.
So did Lady Macbeth get a headache, but that's another story. One out. Rollins at first with a walk. Another pop. Oh, those are big league foul balls way up into the left side.
Now, if they came out with Shakespeare comic books, now that's a different story. I'd be right there in line to buy it.
Yeah, they didn't illustrate those Shakespeare plays well, did they? You had to go to the theater to appreciate him. Swung on and missed. A slider in on his hand. So Howard goes down for the second time against Stauffer.
Remember how Tim Stauffer struck out Ryan Howard in the second inning? A fastball on the inside part of the plate, right? Well, that slider has the illusion of a fastball, and Howard's probably thinking, I got to jump on it. Well, this one had a little break to it, being the slider, swung right over the top of it. That's some good pitching right there.
And that's Nick Hundley remembering just the sequence and setting him up.
Yep.
Francisco flied to center his first time up back in the second inning. And Stauffer retired 7 in a row. The first 7 gave up the scratch hit on the infield of Valdez. Trying to bunt his way on. It's 1-1. This is also this date, April 23rd, 1939. Our guy from San Diego, Ted Williams, hit his first major league home run. Went a little 4 for 5.
Wow.
Against Philadelphia A's. 2-1.
That was his debut, huh? 4 for 5?
That was his first home run. He debuted a few days earlier.
Got it.
Went 1 for 4 in his first game. Hit to right center field. That's a tough one for Maben. He can't get there. It'll go all the way to the wall. And scoring easily is Jimmy Rollins. And on his way to third is Francisco. It's tied at 1. Listen to those Philly fans. So the only walk Stauffer has allowed comes around to score, just as Clayton Richard last night. A couple of walks and a triple. That one by Ryan Howard was enough to win the game 2-0.
You know, watching the ball off the bat and then watching Cameron Maben in center field, he may have taken a bad route and trying to be the hero on this one rather than letting it drop, catching it, getting it back in, and preventing a run to score by him trying to dive. It wasn't even close. That automatically scores a run, and plus they have another runner at third base with 2 outs.
They could have conceded, right, played it maybe into a double. It could have been a leg double for Howard, but probably would have gotten the ball back in before Rollins could have scored. Although with 2 outs, he was running with a contact. But it's 1-1, and chance to take the lead on the Phils. Ice cold Ibanez up there, and he falls down on the count, 2 strikes. This guy's going to break out, a veteran hitter. Phils have 1 fine hitter under 200 in their lineup. The Padres have 4. That's the difference. A ball, 2 strikes. A couple of triples tonight and a triple last night. That's unusual. 3 in 2 games. All in the same spot out there in right center field.
Well, it would have been interesting if Cameron were to cut that off to see if Rollins would have scored. Like you said, they have 2 outs. You know, Rollins had a history of some leg problems, ankle problems, calf problems, but we will never know.
Maybe thinking over what he should have done. But his instincts were to get that tailing, slicing drive. Was constantly moving away from him. Couldn't outrun it. 2-2. Over but low. So he had Ibanez 2 strikes, and now the count has worked full. Brian Schneider on deck. Got him swinging. A slider. 3rd strikeout. But a walk and a triple, and the Phils are even. It's tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ball Hunting fouls it off. Grounded to second base his first at bat. Padres desperately need this man to awaken. Another foul off to the left.
Well, Brad Hopp has been the one guy, along with a couple other guys, who've been out early batting practice the last 2 or 3 days. He was out yesterday, out today, working on that swing. Keep swinging.
Curveball down and in. 1-2. Next pitch will be the 50th from the right-hander Blanton. Inside.
You know, we have to remember that Brad Hupp, his career numbers, he's a .390 on-base percentage.
Pulls that one weakly to Howard. Easy out for the big man. One away. Well, here's our AT&T wireless trivia answer. The question, of course, was which Hall of Famer got his 3,000th hit off another Hall of Famer? And here is the video evidence. 1993. The 3,000th hit for Dave Winfield with the Minnesota Twins off Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer against Hall of Famer. Winfield went on to reach a number of milestones, including his 500th career double, 450th career home run, and became the second member of the 3,000 hit club to have never played a single day in the minor leagues. You know who the other one was?
Did he play for the Tigers?
He did. He took my place. He was 18. I was 18. I was going to be the right fielder for the Tigers.
Al Kaline.
Al Kaline is correct.
Wow.
Wasn't Dick Enberg, I'll tell you that. Venable chases the changeup.
How appropriate also for Dave Winfield getting his 3,000th hit in his home state of Minnesota as a Twin.
In the city where he went to the University of Minnesota. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Venable, who laced a sharp single to right field his first time up. Sharply hit, but right at second baseman Orr. A couple more ground ball putouts for Blanton here in the 4th inning. When you hit the ball hard like that, you can go back to the dugout and say, hey, just bad direction, and at least I put good wood on it. And that's something that the Padres have not been able to say in the last couple of weeks, that, you know, even the outs have just not given any hope. They've been soft.
That's the only thing you can do. Put a good swing on it.
Stauffer successfully sacrificed Venable to second base. Grounds this one, and another chance for Orr. Over to Howard. Very quick 1-2-3 inning for Joe Blanton. He's the kind of pitcher that improves. You got to get him early. Padres had their chance. It's 1-1.
Mid-game recap, as always, brought to you by my good friends at Murray Lamper Construction. Architectural design and quality remodeling under one roof. Visit murraylamper.com on the web or call 619-285-9222 and see what they can do for you. Mr. Enberg?
All right, sell it, big fella. Number 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Philadelphia here in the 5th inning. Catcher Brian Schneider. 7 straight left-handed hitters that Stauffer has to face in this Philly lineup tonight, and then Valdez hits right-handed, as does the pitcher. 2 strikes the count. Schneider took a 3rd strike, first time. Slider bounces in. Line foul. Watch out down there. One and 2. Fouled away. Time for our comparison tonight, brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Interestingly, both pitching staffs have allowed 66 runs to the opposition, but the Phillies hit, and so they're 13 and 6. The Padres have not, and they're 8 and 12.
Interesting.
Line drive. Ludwig after it again. This one a bit easier.
I was hoping Ryan Ludwig wasn't going to overrun that one.
That's right.
Because he caught that ball above the bill of his cap, it looked like.
Oh, really tearing out that direction. Wilson Valdez. Infield hit. First time up and stole second base. Chopped one over the mound and right out at second base that Hudson couldn't quite come up with. It went by him. Bartlett made the play over to first too late. One of 2 hits allowed by Stauffer. High fastball strike. Got himself a good growth on that chin, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. That's one William Shakespeare would be proud of. Didn't he have a little bit of a goat working? Yeah, Shakespeare, a little mustache, little pencil in mustache, and
right, yeah. What goes around comes around, huh? Century after century. As soon as I make it through puberty, I'm going to grow one of those. Ground ball to short in the hole. Bartlett gets him on a close play. Valdez can scamper. Pitcher Blanton tried to sacrifice and struck out in the 3rd. Strike. Reminder, our broadcast time tomorrow, 1 o'clock. And then a 1:05 first pitch. LeBlanc and Holiday. 1-1. Right. Phillies keeping their eye on the scoreboard from their dugout position. It's right out to the right fielder Venable, and behind him, as Florida trails Colorado 3-1 in the 8th inning. The Marlins are only a half game behind the Phils. Watch out. Ooh, wicked low liner, about 5-6 rows deep. She winds up with a ball, but somebody in front of her must have taken the beating on it. They parted the sea and no one got hurt, fortunately. Outside, 2-2.
Well, Shakespeare would say about shadows, looking at that and saying something profound. Shadows are like the days of our lives. As they get longer, so do they.
Right back to the mound. I'm going to genuflect. Stauffer takes care of that. Little punctuation mark, too. Great philosophy. I'm going to cry.
folks. Text Homer, H-O-M-E-R, to this number, 269-411. Good luck.
Now the Padres could use the long ball. The Philly staff is the stingiest in the National League in that regard. They've only, in 19 games, coughed up 8 home runs. And the Padres are tied for second with 12. Top of the order, Maben, Bartlett, and Hudson here in the 5th. 1-1 tie. Maben scored the Padres run in the first inning. Squares and takes a strike. He singled through the hole into left field and came home on Jason Bartlett's triple to right center. One and one. One run, 4 hits for San Diego. They've left 5. 1 run, 2 hits for the Phils. Bunted foul. Well, hitting in that leadoff spot, your whole mental game plan can be different than if you're hitting 5 or 6. Trying to start off the inning, get on base.
Sure.
Set the table. Trouble is, no one's coming to eat. Two and two. Line drive, base hit to left. Maben 2 for 2 with a walk tonight. Maybe that is his spot. Leading off. 3 times up, 2 singles and a base on balls.
Well, he stayed on a Joe Blanton changeup. Joe Blanton's got a darn good changeup. That's one of his better pitches, and he'll throw it for strikes as well. The trouble with this one, though, it's elevated a little bit, about thigh high. Look on contact, just above the knees around the thigh, enabling him to pull that ball to left field for the base hit.
Maben with 6 stolen bases. Bartlett takes ball 1. RBI triple and safe on the fielder's choice. Actually, it was the final out of the inning in the second. Ground ball to short. Oh, almost got him. He was definitely leaning the wrong way, but Blanton didn't get that throw over quickly enough.
Was he leaning a little bit?
Oh,
yes, he was. And bad throw. Like you said, if that throw's right there, they maybe get Maben.
Little safer lead this time.
And Joe Blanton has tried to utilize that rubber, getting over towards first base as close as he can get. The tip of his spike, his shoes, is on the first base side of that rubber. Remember, your foot, there it is right there. It has to be in contact with that pitcher's plate.
But again, that's the value of being aggressive on the bases and have base stealers. I mean, Blanton now has 2 things to think about. Maben keeping him close, the hitter Bartlett, and now he falls behind 2-0. There he goes. Grounded to short, so that saved them the double play and the put out at first. So with 1 out, Maben in scoring position. Hudson and Hundley with a chance to bring him home. Hudson has walked and grounded to short. The O-Dog is one of many that's been hit by that virus that's gone through the clubhouse. And a lot of players still aren't 100%. Ball 1. So with a runner in scoring position, the Padres are overdue. In the series, they're 0 for 10 runners in scoring position. That'll get you shut out.
No question. It's got to change. It's got to turn.
With 1 out, Maben could have thoughts. Another ground ball right at that second baseman, or he's been in the right spot for a lot of chances tonight. Maben moves over to third, and it'll be up to Nick Hundley with 2 away.
Well, a lot of grounders out of the hand of Joe Blanton tonight. Infielders are staying busy. Like you said, Dick, particularly Pete Orr.
So Hundley safe on a fielder's choice. That comebacker to Blanton, and he struck out. Back of home plate, and caroms all the way downstairs.
Remember I mentioned earlier, Joe Blanton will find the heart of the plate. He's thrown a lot of mistakes up there. That was a hanging slider, a mistake that Nick fouled back.
Pulled fair down the left field line. That'll score Maben. It's 2-1, and Hundley gallops into second with an RBI double. 2-1 San Diego. Hundley becomes the first Padre this year in double figures in RBIs. He now has 10.
He fouled back the mistake slider. Is this a mistake fastball? No, that's not a bad pitch. Down and in. Nick throws the head. Valdez off the bag, and he splits the difference, resulting in a run. Nicely done.
So Maben scored both Padre runs. It's 2-1. Cantu with a chance to add to the lead. There's that changeup, and he has seen a steady diet of changes in the 3 games of this series. Good fastball hitter. First pitch changeup. That's scouting. 1-1. A single by Maben, a couple of ground outs, and Hundley's double. Padres reclaim the lead at 2-1 here in the last of the 5th inning. Ball hit well by Cantu, but Francisco has room out there. And the inning comes to an end. A run on 2 hits and a man left. After 5, 2-1 San Diego. A short road trip, a weekend in LA, and come back. 3 against Pittsburgh, 3 against Arizona, and against the D-backs on May 6th. That'll be Padres Beer Fest night, Friday night. A Park at the Park for Beer Fest. Come enjoy beers from 25 different breweries, including some of San Diego's very best. First pours at 4:30. First pitch, 7:05. Visit Padres.com/beerfest for your tickets and all the details. Stauffer back with a lead 2-1. Victorino, leadoff man, starts it here in the 6th inning. He's grounded out twice. That's a strike. Changeup. So LeBlanc against Halladay tomorrow. Then the first game with Atlanta Monday night. Derek Lowe against Dustin Mosley, trying to get that elusive first win. Fouled. Tuesday night, Jurgens against Harang as Aaron goes for his 5th win. You might want to be here for that one. And then Wednesday afternoon, Tommy Hanson and Matt Latos. Latos looks for his first W before we go to LA. Inside, 2-2.
Well, Dustin Mosley has just pitched his little heart out. Just not getting any support. He's getting plenty of that chocolate Myoplex, though. That drink.
Strike 3 called at the knees with a fastball. Victorino unhappy again. 4th strikeout. Well, doing more on defense is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And there's a saving catch by Ludwig in left field. Let's double check the strikeout total. That's 6 now for Stauffer. Pete Orr grounded to second, and it was his line drive that Ludwig speared off the top of the grass. Yanked foul, 2-1.
You know, I'm not going to, off the top of my head, say that the number 4 is retired. But Pete Orr should wear number 4 because of Bobby Orr. Pete is from Canada. No relation to the former Boston Bruin, and spent a little time at the end of his career with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Foul back. Takes a good cut. 2-2.
You have to have some Bobby Orr stories, Professor, huh?
Well, I only met him once. That was back in the old Sports Challenge days.
Oh, nice. Was he missing his teeth?
What am I supposed to do? Look at his mouth like he's a horse? Pulled. Fair. You started to say foul, and then says fair. The ball caroms shallow, and hurrying it in is Venable. Well, Mike DeMuro called it foul, then fair, and that'll bring Buddy Black out of the dugout. What was it? How does he explain that? You say foul, then you say fair. And all DeMuro can say is, hey, I got a little confused, but I made the right call. Let's see if it was.
It was a curveball. He went down and got it.
Can't tell from that angle. So you see, he started to say foul. No, that way. Fair. But he's finished his argument. Obviously didn't win that one.
I don't know whether he tried to make the decision too quickly and then finally realized it registered in his head that it went over the bag possibly.
Hard to tell. It looked like it might have gone right over the bag.
Yep.
Jimmy Rollins is flying to left. He walked and scored the Philly run in the 4th inning. Came home on the 2-out triple by Francisco. So Orr's double positions the Phils with a couple of chances to tie it up. Rollins and then Ryan Howard to follow. Up the middle. Bartlett knocks it down, but it goes into shallow center field, and the speedy Orr will come in to score. It's 2-2. Bartlett couldn't quite smother it, and that served as good an RBI single as if the ball had gone all the way to Maben in center field. It didn't take the Phils long to get the run right back.
Another breaking ball up the center of the diamond. A great effort. Oh, you know what? That hit off the thumb of the glove of Jason Bartlett. If he catches that cleanly, saves a run. A break for Philadelphia.
Or he's running all the way. Samuel gives him the go sign, and he scores standing. It's 2-2. Well, there's a couple of seeing eye hits. A double right over the bag at first, and a ground ball up the middle that just eludes the shortstop. I'm not going to say it, that it's a game of you know what, but it is.
You're right.
So Rollins, who has been dead cold, has his second RBI of the entire season. And here comes the big man with one out. Struck out twice on pitches like that. Takes it inside.
Ryan Howard's got to be conscious of that pitch inside. The fastball and the slider alike. Tim misses down with that first pitch breaking ball.
Infield looking for a double play. They've got the shift on. 2-0. With third baseman Cantu playing about 15 feet from the bag at second. 75 feet from third, so that left side is just absolutely wide open. They're daring Howard to go to left field. Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard, brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal for a limited time only. Most double plays induced this season. How about Tim Stauffer? 5 of them. 3-1 the count.
That means the sinker's working, the slider is biting, even that cutter. A cutter into the left-handed hitters. They get jammed, and it's a ground ball to the right side.
Hudson and Bartlett stacked up on the right side along with Hop. Swing and a miss. Slider. Full count now to Howard.
I don't think Ryan's going to see anything straight here. Even if he walks him here, you know, you've got the righty Francisco, but he hit the triple last time out, and he picked some big swings up at that plate from the right side.
Fans want a strikeout. Little looper, foul. It would have been something to have that hit the chalk line. That's how the inning has been going. Marlins are up in the bottom of the ninth, trailing the Rockies 3-1. Full count on Howard. Rollins goes. No, he stays. He struck him out. 3 times Howard has gone down. 7 strikeouts for Stauffer. He struck out 4 times in the game 2 nights ago. Didn't strike out last night. Had a single and a triple.
First strikeout tonight. Fastball in. Second strikeout, swing his slider down and in. And that pitch looked like it was up and away. Had some funky movement on it.
Looked like a two-seamer that got fooled him. All right, 2 outs. Rollins a threat to steal it first, and Francisco ahead of the changeup. His triple to right center scored Rollins back in the 4th inning with the first Philly run. Grounded toward the hole, cut off by Cantu. He goes to second for the force. And in is over, but a run for the Phils on a couple of hits. And a man left. Bottom of the 6th we go. Knotted at 2. Cam, brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us, Pacific Beach, or online at mossy.com. Tied at 2. Ludwig leads it off and langs a base hit to left field. Ludwig with his first hit, and the Padres have their 7th of the evening. Leadoff man on as Maben led off with a single in the first and in the 5th and came around to score.
Well, Maben leading off tonight, 2 hits, 2 runs scored. Everybody in the lineup, with the exception of the pitcher, Brad Hopp and Hudson, have base hits. So Ryan Ludwig, first pitch slider from Blanton, spanking it to left field.
Brad Hopp, just like every ball he swings at, he fouls to the left. Now, I don't know how you analyze that.
You know, and I'm not just saying this about Brad Hopp. I think it's a general thing throughout baseball. When guys are struggling, you'll see them swing early in the count because they don't want to get into a hole. But I think that Brad probably would want to take that last pitch. His first pitch he saw was a slider down and in. He'd probably take it, and then the count being in his favor.
I mean, going all the way back to Ty Cobb and through to Ted Williams, to maybe not today's player, but there's a ground ball, could be 2. Or to short, back to first, double play. So when he does hit the ball, he gets 2 outs on the swing. 4-6-3. And the patience of some of the fans running out on Brad Hopp. This is not a town that boos its own, but he's starting to earn some. I was just going to finish that thought that players, when they get into a really serious slump, the simple pattern was get closer to the plate, get on the plate so you see the strike zone better, and don't try to swing from your heels. Just try to make contact and hit the ball up the middle. Much easier said than done. But here's Venable, a single and a hard ground ball out. Misses on that slider. 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th, 2 out. Base is empty now, and the Padres and Phils tied at 2. High fly, easy chance for Ibanez in left. So the leadoff single, but the Padres can't come up with anything. We go to the 7th, still tied at 2. Premier Dental Implant Center by MTS. MTS moves me. And by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. With Mark Grant, Dick Henberg here at Petco Park as we go to the 7th inning, and Luke Gregerson comes in to work. Tim Stauffer, 6 solid innings, 2 runs, only 4 hits allowed. He walked 1, and that 1 walk became a run. He struck out 7. Gregerson picked up a loss in that extra inning game in Chicago against the Cubs on Reed Johnson's home run in the 11th inning. We're pleased that you're with us for the Christians. Tomorrow's a big day. Happy Easter.
And also happy Passover this past week.
Right.
It's a big week for everybody. Big week for baseball.
Are your kids too old to hide eggs and do all of that?
No, we're past that.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I hide them for myself. I can't remember where I put them. It's really fun. Then I try to. I can hide my own eggs. Ibanez, Schneider, and Valdez. You worry about this guy. He's so due. He's grounded out to Hop at first and struck out. Average dipping down under 200. Hop gets out of the way, and Gregerson is able to cover 4-1 on the putout. You could hear somebody say, "Get out of the way."
Oh, yeah.
Hop, who hasn't played first base, obviously, for a long time in right field. And as you have pointed out, Mark Grant, there are times where you see the ball where it's hit, and you got to say, "No, that's the second baseman's ball. I'll get out of the way."
Absolutely. And you can see that Brad does get out of the way. Orlando Hudson makes the play. That just comes with repetition. More times out there, you gauge how the ball is hit, how hard it is hit.
And Gregerson reacting as he should. Ball hit on the right side, getting over there to cover.
You know, I have always said when I talk to kids in Little League, even in Pony League up to high school, as a pitcher, any ball that is hit to your left, even if you kind of try to grab at it and you feel you just missed it, bust your tail over to first base.
Swing and a miss by Schneider. 0-2. Slider.
You'd rather be over there. You can always peel off out of the way rather than just lollygagging around the mound and nobody covering first base.
Swung and missed. Strike 3. There's that big league slider of Gregerson. Well, Buddy Black, with good starts by the Padres starters, has been able to rest Gregerson, Adams, and Bell. So they're set up for 7, 8, 9 tonight. And hopefully Bell will get a chance at his 40th consecutive save. Valdez, infield single, stole a base and grounded to short. There's Heath next to young Corey Lutke. Swing and a miss. Now there's a smart young man, Lutke, the rookie. If you're going to be out in that bullpen and want to pick somebody to sit next to learn about the game and how to pitch, Mr. Bell's not a bad choice. Out in front again. 0-2. Great arm action in that slider. Not only does he have good movement, tough to read. Bullpen is busy now for the Phillies. Oh, that could be tough. Cantu gets him. Ooh, that's a good play. Swinging bunt. And Cantu had to charge and make a solid throw as Gregerson retires the Phils in order. Top of the 7th. Stretch half of the 7th inning. Take me out to the old ball game at Petco. Brought to you by Toyota of El Cajon. We went green to save you green. Dodgers and Cubs in a slugfest, and Chicago prevails. That brilliant young shortstop Starlin Castro, the hitting hero for the Cubbies, who scored 5 in the 8th inning to overcome a Dodger lead. And the Braves beat the Giants. Tim Hudson getting the win. And the Braves play again tomorrow up in the Bay and then down here Monday night. Eric Patterson pinch hits for Gregerson, leading off the Padre 7th inning. You'll probably see Mike Adams in the 8th. Changeup. Probably Blanton working his final inning. In fact, they had a pinch hitter on deck. He would have hit next in the top half of the 7th. Hit to right field. Francisco calling. One away. '83 pitches, so it's been a very efficient night for Blanton, allowing just 2 runs, 7 hits.
And like Cole Hamels last night, remember Cole Hamels? He was mixing it up nicely. He threw a lot of changeups later. Joe Blanton just threw 2 changeups in a row to Eric Patterson. What does he get? A lazy fly ball to right field. So he feels very comfortable with that off-speed pitch here in the 7th inning.
And like Hamels, great control. Only 2 walks tonight. Neither walk has hurt him. This man has. Cameron Maben singled and scored in the 1st, singled and scored in the 5th, both as the leadoff hitter. Only Padre with 2 hits. That was the pitcher's call. 0-2. Jason Bartlett to follow. Did he go? No. Curveball outside, and it's 1-2. Oswalt walked only 2 as he went 6 innings the other night. Hamels goes 8 innings, allows 3 walks, 1 of them intentional. Chop back to the mound, and Blanton has the easy underhand for the out.
Dick, remember you mentioned that pitcher's pitch that Blanton got, called strike? Well, you know what? When a pitcher goes back out there, what does a hitter have to do? He's got to protect, right? So if you protect, you don't get your type of swing that you want. That was an all upper body, him trying to protect, maybe foul it off. Unfortunately for Cameron, he put the ball in play. That's the old 1-4 play. 1-3 play. My bad. I'll get it right. You get the idea, Professor, right?
1-4. I'll accept that. He announced it out, right? Ground ball by Bartlett into left field under the diving try of Valdez. So Bartlett is 2 for 4. And Jason has stolen 4 bases this year. I thought Valdez off the bat would get that ball.
Yeah.
Mike Adams will come in to pitch the top of the 8th inning, and the Padres hope to give him a lead to work with. Orlando Hudson has walked and grounded twice to short and to second. See the Bartlett tries to steal a bag. Strike at the knees. Hudson's average continues to drop. He's started tonight at 242. And it's good to see Bartlett is the first of the veteran hitters to break out of his early slump. Outside target. Fouled away. 0-2.
Had a good pitch to rip at.
Over on the American League side, White Sox are really struggling out there. They got shut out again, 9-0 Detroit.
Ooh, that was a good pitch.
1-2.
Backdoor slider. Blanton does not get the call.
Yeah, that looked like a strike, didn't it?
Sure did. It's a hang with him.
Fouled into the glove. Strike 3. Hudson goes down, and so do the Padres in the 7th. They leave another man and have stranded 7 tonight.
Up to 20% with the Padres Flex 10 pack. You can use your tickets at one game or across multiple games. Flex 10 pack tickets start as low as $11 and are available in 4 great seating sections. Get your Flex 10 pack today by calling 619-795-5008. That's 619-795-5008. Flex your power by getting the Flex 10 pack.
That's a good theme. Yeah. Obviously a great deal. A lot of folks taking advantage, and that'll work right through the season. It's not going to go away, so you'll have your chances, fans. Mike Adams comes in to work the 8th inning. Sterling numbers. Of course, he went 28 consecutive batters, the equivalent of a perfect game without allowing a single man to reach safely. And he faces Ross Glode, pinch hitter. Glode and John Mayberry are the 2 primary hitters off the bench for the Phillies. Glode is 3 for 10. Mayberry 4 for 8. Another 0 for 3 as a starter, the one game he started. There's a strike, 1-1. Slider. So Luke Gregerson follows Stauffer, goes 1 inning, 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout.
No, Tim Stauffer, good night in the big leagues, Dick, huh? Good effort by Timmy.
Joe Blanton following Oswald and Hamels. 7 big innings, so only allowed 2 runs, 8 hits. Walked just 2 and struck out 3. One and 2 the count on Glode. Just does spoil that one.
With that swing, it looked like Glode was looking maybe something off speed because he was almost, his momentum was going towards Mike Adams a little bit, and he just fought off that fastball away. Maybe anticipating something down and in, a breaking ball. A good pitch here for Mike Adams with the backdoor slider, trying to go after that outside corner with the breaking ball.
Grounded to Hop. He'll go to the bag himself with the out. Good changeup.
Yeah, Mike reaching into his bag of tricks and throwing the old cambio.
Glode out, one of many 30-plus players on this Phillies roster. They must have more 30-year-olds than any team in the National League.
Experience, huh? As Glode, all upper body, all arms and hands on that changeup.
Top of the order, Victorino. Held in check tonight. Couple of ground outs and a strikeout.
The flying Hawaiian.
He was 1 for 3 last night. Scored a run after he walked. Walked twice the first game of the series. Went 0 for 3. So they've done a good job of keeping him off base.
I remember Shane Victorino was with the Padres, and I always thought that he looked like a young Yul Brynner. The King and I. Deborah Kerr.
Oh, yeah.
Life is a puzzlement.
Very good.
Did you just drop a how you doing on Deborah Kerr?
Yeah, she was one of my favorites.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Very pretty.
Wasn't it Deborah Carr? Didn't she pronounce her last name Carr?
Might have. I think so.
Any way she wanted to. 1-1, Victorino. Slider for a strike.
King of Siam, right?
Anna and the King of Siam. Great Broadway show.
Oh, yeah.
Outstanding movie. Swung on and missed. First strikeout for Adams. Slider gets Victorino, and that brings up Pete Orr.
He's got a nasty slider. That ball was right down the heart of the plate, too, it looked like, and just messes up the swing of Victorino. Good pitch.
Orr's hit the ball hard, ground out to second, robbed of a hit by that diving catch Ludwig and left, and then he doubled in the 6th inning and came home on Rollins' single up the middle. His double over the bag at first base. High fly. Maben, plenty of room out there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Adams. So Gregerson and Adams come in, mow down the Phils in order, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Hundley, Cantu, and Ludwig coming up. Studios for the Sequan Casino post-game show. Sequan Casino, get away for the day at Sequan Casino. 33-year-old Danny Baez out of the bullpen, born in Cuba 2 months after his daughter's birth. His parents arrived in the United States from Cuba for the first time. Parents of defected Cuban athletes must wait 5 years before they can leave the island. He starts Hundley with a pitch outside. Baez making his 9th game appearance. He has a win and a loss. On the outside corner. 8 in the 3rd innings, allowed 9 hits, 2 earned runs.
Boy, different delivery from Baez, still flipping it up there in the mid-90s. Fastball, curve, and a split. Very herky-jerky.
Outside, fastball at 95. That had a tail on him.
Doesn't look like he throws that hard, though, does it, with his delivery? You know, guys that throw 95, 96 are usually max effort guys.
Last of the 8th, tied at 2. Hit to right field. Francisco giving ground, and he's there for the out. 1 away. Baez came up to the big leagues 10 years ago with Cleveland. He's been a relief pitcher most of his career. His 2nd year, he did start 26 games for the Indians, and then none since. 3 years in Cleveland, 2 years in Tampa, split a season between the Mets and Atlanta, then Baltimore for 3, and last year with the Phillies, where he was 3-4, 51 appearances with a high relief pitcher ERA of 5.48. Cantu 1 for 3 tonight. One home run so far for Cantu, half a dozen RBIs.
Kind of sneaky fast, isn't he, Baez? Man, 93, 95, good breaking ball, good curveball. I don't think we've seen the split yet.
Pounds that one right at Orr. Every chance Orr's had, the ball's hit exactly to him.
Yep.
He can almost be a statue out there. Doesn't even have to take a step.
Pitchers are hitting their spots, and the spray charts show that if the pitcher hits his spots and they hit the ball on the ground on the right side, that's where they position Orr.
Ludwig, 1 for 3, struck out, fly to center, and single. And made the defensive play of the night, robbing Orr of a base hit, maybe extra bases. Curveball around the plate. Fans would love to see Ludwig tie into one here. Way outside. Curveball.
It's going to be interesting to see this next pitch being 2-0. If Baez gives Ryan Ludwig anything to hit, even though Brad Hopp is on deck, you know, Brad's struggling right now.
Well, the way Phils have been pitching, this would be a changeup 2-0.
Yeah, good point.
It isn't. He goes with the fastball for a strike.
That's a good point, though.
They have just used that changeup so effectively in the 3 games. So 2 balls and a strike. Ludwig waits. Baez throws him out. And the right-handed reliever works a 1-2-3 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Heath Bell has been warming up in the bullpen, and Bell will come in to pitch to the Phils in the 9th. A reminder that it's always more fun when you come to the ballpark with your friends and family, co-workers. Enjoy the day or night together, and groups as small as 20 can enjoy big savings over gate prices, group seating, a scoreboard welcome, much more. Petco Park offers several exclusive group facilities to fit your specific needs. Reserve your group tickets by calling 619-795-5555. Well, Chiron Bob got his abacus going, and indeed, these Phils are the oldest team in the National League. Their hitters average over 32 years of age, and pitchers over 31 years of age. Both are touts in the senior circuit. 9th inning, 2-2 tie. Rollins, Howard, and Francisco against Bell. Starts with the curveball strike. Whoop, no, he called that ball 1. Rollins 1 for 2, RBI single, and he walked and scored. Runs up and takes 2-0. Quite a string working for Heath Bell. Going back to last year, 39 consecutive saves. And he falls behind 3-0. Trevor Hoffman's record is 41, set in 97-98. There's a strike. 3-1. Hit well to right field, but Venable is there. Boy, that was right on the button. Ball not carrying well at all tonight.
I'll tell you what, these Philly hitters, when they hit a ball like that, I guarantee you, they probably go back to the dugout and say, that ball's halfway up the bleachers at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Because that place, the ball jumps. Here, different story.
What's the opposite of jumps? It jumps there.
This one dies.
Yeah.
Huh? Right?
Right. Well, whether it's carries or not, this man has the power to hit it out of any park, as they say, including Yellowstone. But he's been shackled tonight. Stauffer struck him out 3 times.
I think this is a strike.
It is. Right on the knees. 2-0. So he fell behind Rollins 3-0, went to 3-1 and got him to line out. Now Howard has it his way. 2-0. And he gives him a curveball. He locked in the 5-4 win against the Cubs with a curveball. And another 2-2.
Well, Ryan has had difficulty with that number 2. Over the first night, Thursday night of the series, Latos gave him a steady diet of sliders down and in.
And now the fastball, but it misses. At 94. 4 times he was punched out in game 1, 4 tonight, or 3 tonight.
Here comes the curveball.
Got him again. He wears the grand sombrero. Four times up, 4 times down on strikes.
And the old number 2. Perfect placement as well. Nick Hundley nearly picks that one off the ground. And Ryan Howard way out in front of that yacker.
Brings up Ben Francisco. He's done some damage in the series. A home run and an RBI triple tonight. Takes a strike.
Oh, Heath Bell's locked in. He's a man on a mission.
Looking ahead to the bottom of this 9th inning, Hop, Venable, and the pitcher spot do. Breaking ball. That's a curveball at 87, folks.
It's biting like a mule.
Ground ball to second. Right at Hudson. 1-2-3 inning for Bell. So Gregerson 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. Adams 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. And Bell retires all 3 men in the 9th. reminder, you can follow the Padres with MLB.com @BAT11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking. You get video highlights of games and much more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Padres.com for details. Yeah, the left-hander Antonio Bastardo, he pitched in game 1. Came in for an inning, allowed a hit. That was a double by Cameron Maben. Also walked a man, Venables, so 2 on with 2 out, and he then struck out Brad Hopp. And it's Hopp that he faces first to lead off the bottom of the 9th. Strike 1, 93. Venable, another left-handed batter next. So this is the move. Charlie Manuel bringing in the southpaw with the left-handers due to hit. Late on the swing, 0-2.
And he'll pound the strike zone. We saw that the other night, as you mentioned, Dick. Fastball, slider, change up to the mid-90s from the left-hander Bastardo.
Did he go? Yes. 3 pitches. Down goes Hopp. He's in danger of dropping below the 100 batting average mark. And it's just got to be a miserable time for him. He's a proud athlete, and he's had such outstanding years to sink this deeply here in the first few weeks of April. Chase Headley on deck. Venable, a single and 3 at bats against Blanton. Squares and takes a strike. One and one. Headley not in the starting lineup last night nor this because he's weakened by that flu, but he did have a base hit last night off the bench. He'll be hitting right-handed, of course, against Bastardo. Good cut by Venable. 1-2.
Riding the fastball up and in at 93. Tough to square that one up.
Tried to get him to chase a breaking ball, a slider. 2-2. They're going with all B's. Blanton, Baez, and Bastardo. Work our way through the media guide here, alphabetically. Struck him out. Threw that one right by him. 2 up, 2 down. Hopp and Venable strike out, and here's Chase Headley.
Well, Dick, you mentioned it the other night when Bastardo was in the game on Thursday night, came in the 7th, and he struck out 2 Padres in that outing. He is pounding the zone. Little deception as well, a little short arm action from the left-hander.
So he struck out 11 in 8 innings coming into this game, so he's more than a strikeout per inning pitcher. You can see why. Good stuff. Ball 1. Padres out away from their 6th extra inning game. 1-1. Phils have only gone overtime 1 time all year. They're 0-1. Padres are 1-4. Two and 1. If Headley gets on, right-handed hitting Maben, and the top of the order would be next. Maben, a couple of hits and scored both San Diego runs tonight. Smothered foul into the third base dugout.
Let's see if Chase Headley can do his best Bernie Carbo imitation after that foul ball there, nearly fouling it off his shins. Take this next pitch out of here like Bernie Carbo did back in the 1975 World Series with the Bo Sox.
Just stays alive as he fouls that one off the mask of catcher Brian Schneider.
Rattle that bird cage. Listen to this. I don't care what anybody says. That's got to hurt.
Your ears have to be ringing after that. 2-2 on Headley. Line foul. Way out in front. Fan enjoying the experience, and now apparently has himself a Major League Baseball. Oh no, that's our guard down there, security guard. Doing a little funky chicken to get out of the way of that one. Full count. How many times have we said that in the month of April with Headley up there? He works the count.
Tell you one thing, if you're feeling under the weather, you've got the flu or the cold or something. One thing Chase said before the game, it really makes you concentrate a little bit harder. I mean, every at-bat's a tough situation to be in, but it'll make you really lock in when you're not feeling well.
Got him swinging, and Bastardo strikes out the side. Hop, Venable, and Headley all go down, and we're on our way to the 10th inning, tied at 2. Heath Bell do their job. 9 men up, 9 men down, and here comes Chad Qualls. Qualls took a loss on the recent road trip, 0-1 with a 2.79 ERA.
Well, for Chad, it'll be a lefty-righty duo. Ibanez, Schneider, and Valdez.
Phils haven't had many chances tonight, Mark Grant, but they've taken advantage when they did.
Yep.
4th inning, after Ludwig stole a base hit for Moore, a walk to Rollins, and with 2 outs, Rollins scored on Ben Francisco's triple to right. And 1, 2, 3 innings galore on their side of the scorebook. But in the 6th, a double by Orr right over the bag at first, and then a single up the middle that just eluded Bartlett. Just got through his glove enough that Orr could come around to score, and that's been it. That was their last base runner. 11 men in a row retired since. Line drive to left, and Ludwig has another. Boy, they have pounded some shots out at Ludwig tonight.
And Ryan Ludwig is flashing the leather nicely. Those line drives right at you are kind of tough.
Especially when you're charging a line drive.
Yep. You know, that ball might have some backspin on it, and you're anticipating that ball. You're coming in there, all of a sudden, that ball has a tendency to rise on you.
You saw Ludwig. He was using both hands to catch it. Ryan Schneider is struck out twice in line to Ludwig. Two for 15 on the year, but the 2 are home runs. Boy. Oh, wicked sinker.
Yes.
That gets Hundley.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, catchers will get a lot of that when you have a nasty sinker baller. Hitters will top the baseball and bounces up. You either get it on the ankle, you get it on the inside of the thigh. Nick got that one on the inside of his right ankle.
Just the 21st game of the year, and the Padres with their 6th extra inning affair.
You gotta love bonus baseball, huh?
That's right. These fans are enjoying it tonight. 40,038 here at Petco. Padres win in their previous 5 was opening day in St. Louis. Maven's home run in the 9th to tie it, and the Padres won in 11, but they've lost the last 4, including, remember, the rainy night, that awful evening Friday against the Dodgers. And the Dodgers broke a 2-2 game wide open with a 6-run 11th inning. Padres haven't been the same since. Curse of Friday night. Strike 3 called. A slider froze Schneider. You try to say it.
Yeah. Gave up on it. Caught the outside corner. That's a strike.
2 out to Wilson Valdez.
So you can call it a slider, right?
Get off the Schneider with a slider.
Careful. What happens if he gets a hit? Oh, I ain't going there.
That's right. Good. Woo, up and in. In Chicago on Wednesday night, Alfonso Soriano with a walk-off home run against Qualls in the 11th inning. Wait, that was against Luke Gregerson. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Qualls in the previous game on Monday night gave up the walk-off double by Colvin that won it for the Cubs. That was the 1-0 win in 10 innings. 1-1.
So Chad Qualls has got the wiffle ball sinker working tonight.
Two and two. Placido Polanco, tough hitters in the on-deck circle, given a night off by Charlie Manuel. Their best hitter by average. Broken bat. That's going to be a tough play for Bartlett. Bare hand and gets it. What a play. Can he play shortstop?
Yes, he can.
Play that like a third baseman charging a swinging bunt. Had to. Bare hand and a buggy whip throw for an excellent play. 13 Phillies retired in a row. For the Padres, and the change is made by Charlie Manuel. Kyle Kendrick comes in to work this bottom of the 10th inning, and Placido Polanco enters the game at third. He'll be batting ninth. That would be leading off in the 11th if we go to the 11th inning, and put the pitcher Kendrick in the number 8 spot in the order. So Polanco, the Phil's top hitter, .359 average, enters the game.
And Kendrick is a 4-pitch pitcher. Fastball, change, cutter, and slider. There's that changeup again. He's got a decent change. 90, 92 on the fastball.
Well, we've had some amazing relief pitching tonight. The two Phil's relievers went 1, 2, 3 in their innings, and the Padres have had 4 relief pitchers. All 4 went 1, 2, 3. Not even a base runner. Maben takes a strike. 2 for 4, 2 for 3, 2 singles, scored the both Padre runs, walked and tapped back to the mound. Misses outside. 1-1. Kendrick's one of the young puppies on this Philly roster. He's 26 years old. 7th round pick of the Phils 8 years ago.
And he's got a nice little two-seamer there away to Maben. And like Danny Baez, 2 pitchers in a row. Baez, then Bastardo. Baez from the full windup. Kendrick from the full windup as a reliever. A lot of guys go from the stretch.
High fly ball. Center field. Victorino coming in now. He just missed it. Hit it a mile high. 1 away. Kendrick is from the state of Washington, Mount Vernon, Washington, and was an outstanding high school 2-sport star, baseball and football. In fact, was recruited by Washington State as a quarterback. Last year was 11-10, primarily as a starter, 33 games, 31 starting. But then the Phillies went out, emptied millions of dollars to get Oswalt. and to keep their other stars, get Cliff Lee. So Kendrick might be battling with Blanton for that number 5 spot, but if he doesn't, then he's going to be their top man out of the bullpen. Bartlett 2 for 4. Game's had a lot of fun, even though the Phillies, a couple of shutout wins, and this one tightly played 2-2, and lots of noise here. Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or again, and another 4-3 putout. 2 away in the 10th. Padres bullpen has retired 12 in a row. The Philly pen 8 in a row. Starters Tim Stauffer and Joe Blanton long gone. Heath Bell, his work done for the night. Becomes a cheerleader.
Absolutely. And after this pitch, I want to elaborate on that.
Hudson fouls it into the glove of catcher Schneider.
You know, there are some relievers, when they're done with their work, they're going to the clubhouse and they'll ice their arm, and it looks like Heath is icing his arm right now, actually.
But right back out in the dugout to
absolutely
root for his teammates. And another chance for Orr. It's like a magnet to his glove. Easy inning for Kyle Kendrick as the Padres go quietly again, and we're on to the 11th, tied at 2. Tied up at 2. Falls into his second inning of pitching. And Polanco leads it off. Takes a strike. Polanco, then Victorino and Orr in the 11th as Qualls goes to work here. 14 straight fills have been retired. The last couple by Stauffer, and then the bullpen not allowing a base runner. Last base runner with 6th inning. There's another Polanco. He just is flat out a terrific hitter. Leadoff man on. That's the first base runner since the 6th inning when Rollins singled with 1 out to tie the game at 2.
Yeah, I think that's the right approach when you face a guy like Qualls, a sinker baller. Try to utilize the center of the diamond. When you get a ball down and in, you can pull it, but the main idea is that get that sinker up and try to shoot it right up the center of the field.
Polanco 4 for 8. Victorino, good bunt. Qualls gets the out. So Manuel plays for the lead here in the 11th inning as he sacrifices. And that'll give Orr and Rollins a chance to put the Phillies in front here in the top of the 11th inning. Orr fielding his position immaculately and grounded to second, line to left, stolen a base hit by Ludwig, doubled and scored in the 6th inning. The ball right over the first base bag and fly to center. Seven for 20 on the season is Orr with 1 RBI. He's 2 for 3 lifetime against Qualls. Got a piece of it. Slider in on his hands. 1-1. Ryan Madsen loosening up. Ball and 2 strikes on Orr.
You know, with a left-handed hitter like Orr and the sinker baller Qualls, you pound him away, you keep that ball in front of that runner. Ground ball to third base, sharp ground ball to short. If Orr pulls a ball, sure there'll be 2 outs, but they'll have the runner at third base.
Chopper to short. Bartlett had trouble and just does get him. Juggled the ball in his glove, and Orr sprinting up the line made it a bang-bang play.
And not hard enough, hit the shortstop, enabling that runner to stay at second base. Saw Polanco as soon as that ball was struck. They read the ball off the bat. It was hit softly enough to where he could go to third base. Off the end of the bat, big hopper. You can see him busting his tail to third base, and Bartlett has no choice. Boy, he got down the line nicely, didn't he? Wow, half a step.
So 2 out. Rollins fly to left, walked and scored. Came home on the triple by Francisco for the first run. He won't get to swing the bat here. They're going to walk him intentionally. And his single that was perfectly directed up the middle, off the glove of Bartlett into center field, tied the game back in the 6th inning.
Well, Corey Lupke is getting hot. You got a lefty on deck.
Ryan Howard due next. Oh, ball 3. One more pitch and Collins will be at first. And Howard a chance to make amends on what has been a tough night for him. 4 at-bats, 4 times he struck out. Will he face Qualls or will he face Lupke? It's going to be Lupke. Black coming out is going to make a double switch here. Gonzalez, Alberto Gonzalez, who started last night at third, is going to come into the game along with Lupke. So the Phils with runners at the corners, 2 outs, top of the 11th, game tied at 2. We'll be right back. coming up. And his pitcher profile brought to you by RCP Block and Brick. Build a dry stream bed in your yard with natural stone. Call RCP tomorrow. So Lupke into a pressure-packed situation with a game tied here in the 11th inning, 2-2, and the Phils perched at third and first with 2 out, and the big man, Ryan Howard, at the plate.
Well, the statistics show as Bud Black goes to his lefty to face the lefty, Ryan Howard versus left-handers this season hitting .273. With that said, Corey Lupke, lefties are hitting .083. They are 1 for 12 off the young left-hander.
Well, if you're a Philly fan, you figure here's a man that's way overdue. Struck out 4 times game 1, 4 times again tonight, but a man who also in the last 5 years has averaged hitting .313, 46 home runs, 136 RBIs. And he had the big blow last night, 2-run triple in the 2-0 win. Here we go. Strike. Started him with a breaking pitch. Slider. Hit well to left. Ludwig back, and off the wall. 2 runs will score. Howard with a double. 4-2 Philadelphia. That ball kept tailing away from Ludwig, and he was running out of room as he traversed the warning path at the wall. That got tighter and tighter and tighter, and just out of his reach.
I tell you what, off the bat, I thought the ball had a chance to leave the yard.
I did too.
And I thought Ryan had a chance, just out of his reach. Just out of his reach. He went back and then had to go to his right. And as you mentioned, Dick, that ball slicing.
See, the wall starts to angle more tightly toward the foul line at that point, and Ludwig just not quite getting the glove on it. So the Phils 4-2 as Howard, despite a 4 strikeout night, he gets another chance and delivers. And up there now is Ben Francisco. So those 2 runs will be charged to Chad Qualls.
Well, how about Ryan Howard going the opposite way like that, huh?
So strong.
Wow.
Francisco, an RBI double in 4 at bats. 1-2 the count. Well, you keep the Phils around long enough, even though they only had 4 hits coming into this 11th inning. This lineup is tough, and it awakens here. And there's another run going to score. Maybe not. Howard got a late break. Here comes Ludwig's throw. They're going to challenge him, and he is going to be out by a mile. Perfect strike by Ludwig on the fly to catcher Hundley to deny another run. Single by Francisco. But a single to lead off by Polanco and a walk, and Howard's 2-run double, and the Phils lead by 2. And in dismay after shutout, only 2 runs tonight. Great pitching, starting pitching and bullpen, but finally the Phils get their chance again, and they have been so opportunistic. They've had 3 innings where they had a chance to score, and they've scored in all 3. And Ryan Howard, who else, delivers after being punched out 4 times. Ryan Matson comes in to try to save it, and it will be Hundley, Cantu, and Ludwig to bat for the Padres here in the last of the 11th. San Diego's out hit Philadelphia 8-7. And you go back to the very first inning when the Padres had a run home and a man at third and first and no one out, and could only get that first run. Hundley, he's knocked in a run with a double. Shortstop Rollins with that big gun throws him out.
Well, Jose Contreras is the closer for the Philadelphia Phillies. Madsen came in last night, got his first save of the year. The reason why is because Contreras, remember, he got the save Thursday night. That was his 5th save, but prior to that game he was in, he had pitched like 2 or 3 straight and threw a lot of pitches. So Charlie Manuel, that's one of the luxuries the skipper has for the Phils. He can go to a guy like Madsen if he needs a guy to go out there and save a ball game. So second one in a row trying for tonight for Madsen.
In for a strike to Jorge Cantu at 94. Alas, the outstanding relief pitching tonight for naught with the trio of Gregerson, Adams, and Bell doing such an outstanding job again. 9 up, 9 down. Yeah. But when you can't score, how long do you want to, or can you live against a lineup like this that has some serious punch, although they've been in a hitting slump themselves? Cantu way out in front. Change up. Two and two, then another changeup. These Phil's pitchers figuring that the Padres are eager fastball hitting team, and they're setting them up with these off-speed pitches. 2 and 2 now. Cantu fouls it. Trying to get on there, bring Ludwig up. Padres got to get a base runner to bring that tying run to the plate here in the last of the 11th. On the verge of dropping their 5th extra inning game in a row. High fly, deep part of the yard. Victorino for the second out. Down to their final out. Ryan Ludwig steps up. Single in 4 trips tonight. Lined up the middle for a base hit. That one almost took Madsen's belt buckle with it. So a 2-hit night for Ludwig, and that does bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Brad Hopp. Hopp has grounded out twice, grounded into a double play, and struck out. 0 for 4. And his average sinking to 106. Ball 1. Should Hopp keep it alive? Will Venable on deck. Just would be poetic justice for Hopp to get a hold of one.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening. That swing seems big and late. Almost would like to see him just choke up and just try to hit one like Ludwig did, right up the middle. In the dirt, 2-1. Another changeup.
Well, even though it's a hitter's count, 2-1 fastball, Madsen, like a lot of these pitchers for the Phillies, have proven that they will throw any pitch, any time, any count. So that's the thing where Brad really has to shorten up, hit the ball where it's pitched, because chances are he's not going to get a fastball here. Off the plate.
3-1.
I should have said fastball for a strike. He tried to have Hop chase a two-seamer away.
Three and two.
Swing at ball 4.
And the Philly fans are on their feet down the left field line, looking for 3 in a row and 10 straight wins here at Petco. Hop has another swing left. 3-2. Hit well to left field. Back goes the left fielder and makes the catch on the warning pad. Oh my. Ryan Howard's ball had about 5 more feet to carry and it delivered 2 runs. Hops dies in the middle of the track, and the Phillies have won again here at Petco. Final score in 11, 4-2. We'll be back with the totals right after this.